For today's visual diary, this is episode number 3. You guys, for the visual part, will be seeing a makeover I did on my home renovation channel. I turned this old shed into an enchanted cottage for my nieces, so if you want to see that full makeover, I will leave it linked down below. But today I wanted to talk about something that has been on my heart and something that I see kind of a lot of the opposite of on social media, especially TikTok. And basically, it's just kind of about women today. And I feel like this topic can be a little tricky to talk about. So I want to start it off with Proverbs 31. It talks about the noble wife and her character and her characteristics. And I always look up to this verse because I feel like a Proverbs 31 woman is just such a perfect woman. It describes like everything that we should be doing, and it just always really helps to inspire me. And then I'll get into the just kind of like my opinions on it, I guess, and where we are today. So like I said, this is just talking about the characteristics of a noble woman. So it says that she selects wool and flax and works with willing hands. She's like the merchant ships bringing her food from far away. She rises while it's still night and provides food for her household and portions for her female servants. She evaluates a field and buys it. She plants a vineyard with her earnings. She draws on her strength and reveals that her arms are strong. She sees that her profits are good and her lamp never goes out at night. She extends her hands to the spinning staff, and her hands hold the spindle. Her hands reach out to the poor, and she extends her hands to the needy. She is not afraid for her household when it snows, for all in her household are doubly clothed. She makes her own bed coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she can laugh at the time to come. Her mouth speaks wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the activities of her household and is never idle. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her. Many women have done noble deeds, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. Give her the reward of her labor and let her works praise her at the city gates. So maybe you guys can see why I love this chapter so much. I feel like it's just a really great example of what we should be, even if you are not a woman and you're a man. I feel like it's still just like a really great example of like help people that are in need, go out, try to make money for your household, take care of those that are in your household and things like that. And I know my mom was definitely so great at all of this and still is. She always would be like up so early in the morning, just doing things for everyone. And whether it's like putting together really great meals, or the same with my dad, always like reaching out and helping people that are in need. And I feel like this is something that so many people are really good at, but then also there's a lot of us who could definitely use just kind of like a reevaluation in that area of our lives. I think in today's society, it's so easy to get caught up in everything that you're going through, when if you look around, there's so many people that could also use help. And God gives us all of these unique gifts and different ways that we can help people and reach out to others. And I know for me, something that I've always felt on my heart was that I really enjoy just talking to girls who are younger than me and helping them through things that are difficult, or whatever like season they're going through in their life. And so last year I was actually given the opportunity to mentor a young girl. She was about like 12 years old, and it was just so fulfilling to be able to meet with her each week and talk to her and hear what she's going through. And I think that doing things like that, it also really takes you out of your own brain and kind of like just forces you to think about other people. And I feel like we're all so capable of doing so much for others, but we're just so stuck in everything that we want to do. Something else that Proverbs 31 talks about is how it mentions like multiple times how she goes out and she works or she wakes up while it's still dark to provide for her family or to make food, or it talks about how she makes and sells garments and she delivers belts. And I think it's just so beautiful how she is able to do all of these things but also still be able to help her family out. I feel like with TikTok today, it's so easy to go on there and see all of these women who have their hair beautiful, their makeup perfect, and every day they are like showing their routine of like what they do, and they live in like these beautiful big houses. I feel like our depiction of what life should be and the reality of what it is so kind of like blurred because of social media. And I know like when YouTube first came out, it was like a very big trend, and I even fell into it too, where everything had to look perfect and like your Instagram had to look perfect. You couldn't post certain things that weren't perfect looking, but life is not perfect at all. And I feel like there's almost shame in people saying like they have to have a second job, or women saying that they have to do extra work to be able to make money. And I just feel like there is no shame in any of that. There are so many women on social media that are really great at showing kind of like a realistic lifestyle. One of my friends, Liz Heister, I'll link her YouTube channel below. I love her videos so much because she shows her everyday life and it's so raw and so beautiful. And she is the epitome of a Proverbs 31 woman. She is working, she has chickens, and she's out like getting dirty, taking care of her kids, cooking, and taking care of her household, like sewing curtains and pillows. And I just think it is so beautiful because it is just like what all of us should aim to be. And I know that different women have different priorities. Like some of my friends, me talking about this, they're like, girl, I do not want to be doing that. I want to be living the luxury life and have beautiful things, and that is totally fine too. I'm not saying that we all have to be, like working outside or, doing these things, but I just think that there's something so beautiful about such a simple life where you really just focus on the very like core things of life, like helping people, taking care of your family, taking care of yourself, making sure that like you are resting, and just, I don't know, I just think it's so beautiful when people are able to live so simply and not overcomplicate things. And I think that's why I love this chapter so much of the Bible, because I just feel like it really depicts that. I truly feel like women are superheroes because we have so many different things and so many different roles that we kind of have to fall under, whether it's being a mom, being a homemaker, being a worker, helping people. There are just so many things that women do, and it is so hard to keep up with all of them. And so I don't want this chapter at all to stress you out and make you think, oh my goodness, like I need to start like waking up in the middle of the night and doing more things to make money, or I need to start doing this or doing that. I think that this chapter is just really good at just showing like we can simplify things and still be really helpful to people and to ourselves. I do think it's so important though that we do take time for ourselves, because I think some people could easily read this chapter and just think like I have to work. I need to do all these things, and it's so easy to get burnt out. And by doing that, you're not benefiting your family, you're not benefiting anyone, and you're just hurting yourself. So there's definitely a very fine line between this chapter, but also making sure you are taking care of yourself. So I just wanted to mention that. But I wanted to take this chapter into kind of like my new life that's coming up with having a baby, and try to just be more intentional about everything and just feel more grateful. And I think that is really important too. It's very easy for me to get overwhelmed because I feel like I do work too much, but I also want to kind of like relook at that as I'm very grateful that I do have work to do, and just trying to change my mindset a little bit and trying to focus more on how can I go out and help other people, because I know helping other people is one of the most fulfilling things, and it feels so great to be able to make someone smile or make someone stay. And you can just do the little most simplest things to achieve that. But let me know what you guys think of this chapter, and we could have more of a conversation in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.